What is going on, boys? Welcome back to the Monday Morning Quarterbacks Podcast, episode 42. It is divisional round. Wildcard weekend wrapped up. How we feeling, Jeff? How we feeling, Josh?
Feel
Bad.
great. The Packers advanced to the next round. So what else can you ask for?
Yeah, it sucks that it's just us three on the pod because the other two that our fan bases didn't even make it to the playoffs, but the rest of us had teams to root for in the playoffs, and we're dead. Uh,
And we're good.
you want to start with the Chargers, Hefe, or you want us to start with the Packers? Who wants to start this cry fest?
I mean, that first quarter looked great. They had four turnovers, but the offense just looked absolutely awful. I mean, there was literally no one but Lad. I mean, Herbert threw four picks. I'd say like three of those probably weren't even his fault. But, I mean, the Chargers need to go out and get a competent big body receiver in the offseason. I think all of I mean, the defense is great, but the offense needs help. We need a little more line help. JK's been good this year, but I mean, it's JK. Like he's not gonna stay healthy. But a better RB and a better either wide receiver two. Lad is the future at the slot, so we just need a good deep guy, whether it be T Higgins or Garrett Wilson that you get in the offseason, but someone with hands that can run a deep route. But I mean, honestly, like first season with Harbaugh, made the playoffs. You were the fifth seed. I mean, in classic fashion, the Chargers go out in the first round, but like I can't be upset like after going what 3-15 last year. So overall, I think the season was a success. Sucks that you didn't get a playoff win, but it's always next year.
Hearing you talk, just the Chargers are the Packers AFC in the AFC. We're just got the same issues. we don't have a clear wide receiver one. At least you have a clear McConkey's a monster. He's technically your wide receiver one, but he doesn't play that true like wide receiver one role where he's like lining up outside, like can beat you. I mean, he did have a 70-yard touchdown or whatever that was, but um, the Packers just need a clear wide receiver one desperately. Wicks ended up being our wide receiver one by halftime because everyone was hurt. Malik Heath was two, and Bo Melton was three, and we didn't even have another wide receiver on the active roster for that game. Um, just too much inconsistency out of Jordan Love. Like you were saying with Herbert and the picks, I mean, Love had three picks on the stat sheet. One of them was garbage time pass interference that didn't get called at the end of the game, where he just threw it up. I mean, we were down two scores with 3 minutes, needed a big play. I don't. That one didn't matter to me at all. Don't know how PI wasn't called on that either. He had one really bad one to Bond over the middle. Um, but other than that, like he played fine with how much pressure he was under. Literally every play, every snap, he was instantly getting hit. Like his completions were on back shoulder throws and instantly getting the ball out of his hands. So I don't like people want to point at that game and say like, oh, you guys paid 220 million for a quarterback that sucks. You guys paid 220 million for a quarterback that threw three interceptions in the playoffs. Um, you just got to watch the game to know that Jordan Love wasn't the problem there. Um, Also, Matt LaFleur just like is so frustrating at times, and I can't tell if it's a scheme issue, like a play calling and scheme issue, or if it's an execution issue, or if it's both. But running the ball down two scores on a 3rd and 3 for 0 yards is just not fun to see. Um, Regardless, season's over. Second youngest team in NFL history to our first youngest team in NFL history last year. Playoffs in back-to-back years on a team that's really rebuilding. Uh, kind of like Jeff was saying, like it's as a Packers fan, it's never a success to lose in the playoffs because in our lifetimes we've been in the playoffs almost every year of our lives. So like a first round exit's like a bottom tier season in our minds. But with what kind of we're dealing with, we got such a young squad, and we did have a lot of rookies that honestly stepped up and played really good. I think there's a lot of hope for next year. Uh, What'd you think about the Packer game, Josh?
They just play so inconsistently. I can't. I don't know if teams like dominate us in the first half and then take their foot off the gas and we randomly come back in the second half, or if we're just play terrible in the first half and then play okay in the second half and make it a game. They just keep. I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I don't know if they're too young. I don't know if everyone's getting hurt. I don't know if Jordan Love's got something going on, if he's seeing ghosts out there, but they just need to figure out how to be more consistent. And the first half of the year, Jordan Love was slinging the ball. Like the receivers are open over the middle of the field, they're going deep. For whatever reason, the second half of the year, they ran the ball to Josh Jacobs and he threw the ball to Tucker Kraft or did screen passes. He did not throw it to receivers. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he chose to stop throwing the ball to all of his receivers, but that seemed to be part of the problem. I think in the draft we just build the offensive line and the defensive line. Still, I don't know what else to do. I guess if then we're not going to be in a position to draft a top end receiver, but I don't even like many of the receivers in this class anyway. So I guess you just hope one of these receivers emerges here at some point, or Jordan Love builds chemistry with one of them, and it ends up creating magic on the field. But not great playoff exit. We looked absolutely terrible.
Alrighty, we are back. Sorry about that, boys. Technical difficulties, but hey, Josh was just talking about how the Packers season is over. You have anything else to add there, Josh?
Um, Hopefully we're more consistent next year.
Agreed.
That's probably it.
Agreed. Do we want to touch on any of the other playoff games? I mean, obviously, Chargers game was a shock to me. Jeff touched on that one a bit.
The Bills rolled.
Yeah, Bills rolled over the Broncos.
Commanders
Tommy
broke the
Stoink's gonna win.
What about the
Jaden Daniels
Vikings?
might be the luckiest team. The Vikings might be one of the luckiest teams this year. The Hail Mary, the Doink. I
Yeah,
think
All
they're
you
gonna
have to
get
do
rolled
is
by the Lions.
you just got to blitz Sam Darnold, and he turns into the worst quarterback in the NFL. So
That too.
yeah. Sam Darnold looked very Sam Darnold of old. Uh, I mean, everyone was
this
calling.
puts the Vikings in a weird spot now because they can't pay Sam Darnold, and JJ might still be hurt. Do they sign Aaron Rodgers and trade Sam Darnold?
I think McCarthy will be back, and they'll probably just roll with him, and maybe keep Danny Dimes as a backup, or have Danny Dimes start until he's over. I think Darnold will be a free agent, and I mean he is a free agent. I think he'll go to another team and probably get an unreasonable amount of money still.
Browns. Take him to the Browns.
Could be an interesting fit, but yeah, the Rams looked really good. So I think, I mean, let's just hop right into this week's divisional round games. We'll start with Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs are -8, over under 41.5.
This would be the most shocking playoff loss if the Chiefs go down in the divisional round. I don't think Mahomes has ever lost a divisional round game before.
He's 6-0.
So it'd be really nice to see him lose one, but I guess there's just no chance that's going to happen because I don't know what Patrick Mahomes did, but he did something, and now they just win every game no matter what. So I guess I'll take the Chiefs to continue to win the game no matter what.
It's amazing Patrick Mahomes' voodoo has like worked magically, and Aaron Rodgers will literally doing voodoo in Costa Rica with his ayahuasca is not winning him stuff. He's doing the wrong type of voodoo apparently. But yeah, Mahomes, like we just said, is 6-0 in the divisional round. He has 16 total touchdowns to 0 interceptions in those 6 games. He's averaging over 300 passing yards in those games. Meanwhile, Travis Kelce has played in 8 divisional round games, and he's averaging 87 yards per playoff game. And he's also averaging 7.5 catches per playoff game out of his 22 playoff games. And his line is at like 54 and a half yards, I think, last I looked, which just feels like a major Vegas trap. But this happens every year in the playoffs, and Kelsey just cooks in the playoffs. There's no way the Chiefs lose this game because Mahomes is just a winner in the playoffs. And that CJ Stroud is not scary at all this year. I think it's a miracle they beat the Chargers last week. So I'll go with the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, this game should be the Chiefs, and they're just going to steamroll, and they get Jalen Watson back. I like Mechie in this game for anything prop-wise, but yeah, you just don't see Kansas City losing to the Texans this year. I just don't look good, so I think this is an easy one.
Do we want to touch on the cancer that is Deontay Johnson and what's going on with him?
Back to the Ravens.
Been cut from 4 teams in the last 2 months.
That's crazy.
And
he said he was mad he wasn't getting the ball enough. Is that why he got released recently?
I don't even know what the most recent reason was, but I mean, it's hard to just come into a brand new offense in less than a week and just assume that you're going to be a major game plan in that offense.
What team was he just on?
Texans. He had 1 catch.
Yeah. I saw the Texans receivers were like consoling him and trying to say it's okay that he only got 1 catch or something.
That guy is such a cancer. It's insane. The Ravens just re-signed him, but he can't play this year. So he's ineligible for the rest of the playoffs, but he'll be like on the team come off season. So
does he get a ring if they win it?
Yes. If you even play a snap, you don't even have to play a snap. I think if you're even on the roster for like a day of any team in that season, you get a ring. But he was just trying to collect. He was trying to collect the Infinity Stones, increasing his odds. He's like, I'm gonna just go to every single playoff team and see if one of them will win it, so I can get a ring.
He went to the Texans, the Ravens, started with Carolina. What was the other team? Steelers?
I don't even know.
No, that was
there might not have even
team.
been. Yeah, I don't know. I swear he was on another though.
The Steelers keep drafting these head cases. Antonio Brown, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens. What are we doing?
Mike Tomlin needs to be fired. Speaking of that game.
Oh, the Raven. Yeah.
I'm over these coaches that have been around forever and don't get anything done. Like, just because Mike Tomlin, he won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He won 1 Super Bowl, but he has a losing playoff record, and he hasn't done anything relevant in the past 8-10 seasons. And Pittsburgh is the same team every year.
If they had a decent quarterback, they would be a problem.
Yeah, but they never do. And then they go get Fields, and they go get Russell Wilson, and they bench the better quarterback.
Where's the water?
Yeah. Alrighty, moving on to the other game on Saturday. We got the Commanders at the Lions. Lions are minus 9.5. Insane over under here, 55.5. That's a lot of points.
It'll probably go over.
It's a lot of points.
It should go over. There's no way it doesn't go over. The Lions' offense is unstoppable unless you have a really good defense. And the Commanders' defense isn't good enough to stop the Lions. And the Commander, Jaden Daniels, is also a monster. And the Lions' defense, the last 2 games, or the last game they played against the Vikings is magically elite. I don't know if it's Sam Darnold collapsing or if it was their defense, but I'm expecting Jaden Daniels to toss up at least 21 points. So I don't know how they don't hit the over because the Lions are for sure getting.
I think
35.
every single game in the wild card round went under.
Interesting.
Wow.
I stand by it. It's going over.
I don't know for sure. There
And
might have been
this
1 or 2 close ones. I just looked at the scores though, and they were all low.
I bet the Chiefs Texans will do the under, but Lions
41.5.
should go. Yeah, I don't. The Chiefs are going to score like 13 points and win that game. The Lions have a 0% chance to lose this game. So I'm also putting as many.
This guy's trying to jinx himself.
It would be a miracle for the Lions to lose. this game. They don't have to practice this week. They could have just taken 2 weeks off. They didn't need to do anything. If they just show up, game's over. Lions.
Yeah, I'm on the exact same page. There's a 0% chance the Lions lose this game. Uh, Commanders are still. I'm still not a believer in the Commanders. Their future is good for the long term, but with what Jaden Daniels is working with this year, they just do not have it in them to win this game. And the Lions almost seem like an unbeatable force in the NFC right now, and almost seem like they're gonna walk to the Super Bowl. Um, so we'll see how it go Lions, and I think what'll be a rout.
Yeah. I also like the Lions. I mean, hard not to like the Super Bowl favorite, but I mean, I also like the over. They love to run up the score. It's a dome game, so no weather. Um, they have rest. They're getting Demont back. I don't know if Terrion Arnold's playing, but I mean, he's not that big of a.
Might be better without him.
You got randoms locking down Jay Jettas anyway, so. Um, yeah. I mean, some of these touchdown odds for this game are ridiculously low. It's insane. Like if you parlay forward like the big four for the Lions to score, it's like 15-1. That's 4 touchdown scorers on the same team. You're giving me 15-1. It's ridiculous. But
Diabolical.
yeah. I mean, I think the Lions roll, and then see what happens with Philly and LA.
Great segue,
Four more
Hefe.
touchdowns.
Speaking of Philly and LA, we got the Rams at the Eagles. Eagles are minus 6.5, over under 43.5.
Jameer Gibbs is gonna get 4 more touchdowns. That's what I was trying to say when I ruined the segue. I think the Eagles are frauds, and I think the Rams are gonna go in and win by at least 7. The Rams are hot. Jalen Hurts is like casually having concussion problems, and no one's paying attention. Like earlier this year, Jalen Hurts was obviously concussed, like bad, and he just played the rest of the game and continued to play the next weeks. And then finally, he got concussed again and then sat for 3 weeks basically. And then this first playoff game back, we just watch him slam his head into the turf, and then he like gets up a little wobbly, and then just like keeps playing like he's fine. Like for Jalen Hurts for sure is having a concussion problem right now. So I don't think he's playing like he normally would. And if he takes a big hit, he could be done for the game. The Rams are hot. Stafford's playing good. Puka's an absolute monster. And I'll take the Rams.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I hated the Lions, Vikings, and Bears more than any other teams in the NFL. But then we played Philly, and I just had to experience their scummy, terrible fans, worst fans in the NFL, absolute scumbags. I hate Philly. I hate the city. I hate their cheesesteaks. I hate everyone in it. I hate Jalen Hurts. I hate stupid A.J. Brown reading a book on the sidelines. 1 catch for 10 yards, you're a bum. Uh, those Philly trash bags are going to get upset by the Rams. I'm so excited to see it. And also, did you guys see that Philly fan just berating the Packer fan and his life's just ruined now?
I can't believe how badly his life got ruined and how fast it happened. That's crazy.
I'll give a little
Literally ruined.
Yeah, I'll give context on it just for who hasn't seen the video, but I don't know the guy's name, but his name's like out there in the news and everything. This Packer couple was sitting in front of him at the Packer Eagles game, and he called this guy's girlfriend, who was a Packer fan, a dumb C word, and then he called. He was like, "Yeah, your wife's an ugly, dumb C word again." And personally, I mean, if that guy starts a fight there, all of Philly just starts attacking him. Every single Philly fan around him didn't even blink, acted like this was the most normal thing that had ever happened. Meanwhile, clip goes viral, this guy's name gets leaked, people are berating his job fires him, he's getting just trashed all over the news, probably can never find another job, because anytime you Google this man's name, that video is going to pop up. Just completely ruined his life to be a trash Philly scumbag that he is, and like that fan base is, so... Congrats, Eagles.
Maybe this will help the Eagles fans realize how terrible they are, and then they'll start to change because they don't want their lives to get ruined.
It's actually insane. I saw so many videos of like Packer fans walking into the stadium, like, and they would get it was almost like Packer fans were walking out of the tunnel. Eagles fans would gather on both sides of them and just start berating them, just like "F you, you fucking suck, cheesehead." Like a lot of it's like fun banter, like sure, whatever. But the fact that all the Philly, every fan base, there's those fans that take it way too seriously and are actually just dumb. Obviously, he's one of them. And obviously, like, the fun banter and everything's fine. But once you get to crazy levels or whatever. But yeah, give me the Rams.
Are you guys picking the Rams solely on the fact that you guys hate them and they beat the Pack last week?
I think the Rams are actually good, and if I had to pick non-biasedly, I'd probably still pick the Rams. But a little fuel to the fire, sure.
Jalen Hurts is going to get concussed.
So, all right, I'm going to be on the other side here. I'm going to take Philly, mainly due to the fact that the weather factor. It's going to be a cold game. LA is, under fire.
A little too warm right now.
Yeah. And they play in a dome and they're used to warm weather. I mean, I think the weather's going to play a factor. Like, they are hot. It's hard to bet against Sean McVay in that offense. But, I mean, it's really just locking Puka down. Kupp has been a non-factor for the last 5 weeks. I mean, Philly's defense looks good. That D-line, I think, can handle Kyron. I mean, I just think it's a better matchup for Philly, and they're going to go and play the Lions in the NFC Championship.
Philly's D-line is a problem. Also, I don't even know how we talked about that Packer-Philly game without mentioning the opening kickoff, when we just clearly recovered it twice in the NFL, like showed it on the live broadcast, and then just said, yeah, what you guys just saw, like, magic trick, psych, Eagles ball. Like, what? I, like, could not believe that. Still
that
shocked.
Just set the tone when that happened. It was just destiny. The Packers were just gonna lose. Whatever.
Former Packer player too, Oren Burks. Like the hit, I didn't have any problem with. There is no such thing as targeting in the NFL. A lot of fans don't understand that. There is no targeting in the NFL. When you're a ball carrier, you can get helmet to helmet. It's just defenseless receivers can't. But so the hit was fine, but we just recovered it. So I didn't understand that. But moving on to the last game, probably game of the week. Ravens at the Bills. Baltimore's -1 over under 51.5.
That was tough. I think I'm leaning Bills because Josh Allen and the weather. So Ravens, if the Ravens play, I don't know. This one's really tough. Josh Allen just has been putting the team on his back this year. So I'm leaning on that to make the Bills win. But if the Ravens come out and they play like good football, they don't make any mistakes. I mean, Ravens could win too. I don't know. It's tough. I'll take the Bills though, because I think the Ravens will make mistakes in the cold.
Playoff Lamar Allen will come to life, and not in a good way. Josh Allen, the true MVP of the season, is gonna win this game and go on to the AFC Championship. The Bills, honestly, I was more shocked in that playoff game of how much the Bills run the football and how well they run the football. Like, they really have a three-headed monster there on the ground with James Cook, Tyler Johnson, and Ray Davis. Is it Ray Davis the third? I think he's the third.
Josh Allen is the third name you're looking for.
Well, Josh Allen can run too, clearly, but those three have been running the ball super well. And the thing that's not talked about enough is how well they can catch the ball down the field. Like, Ray Davis just caught like another 20-plus yard touchdown, like his third or fourth of the season. Tyler Johnson can catch. Josh Allen can catch on the pitch if he needs it, I'll take the Bills.
I'm gonna side on the other side again here. um, I think this is the Ravens' year to make the Super Bowl. I think Lamar is the MVP. Having Derrick Henry back there is such a big threat. I don't know how the Bills are going to stop him. Um, they played earlier this season, and the Ravens beat them, I think, like 35-17 or something. Um, everyone's saying playoff Lamar, but when you have Derrick Henry back there, it makes it a lot easier for playoff Lamar. So I am on the Ravens here, and I think that they take down Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's forever cursed and will not make the Super Bowl. And I've been saying it since the beginning of the season, the guy's a fraud. So I I am not going to take the Bills, and I'm going with the Ravens because I think that's my Super Bowl prediction for the AFC.
All
That's my
takes
Super
lead
Bowl
up to
team
this
prediction.
game. You've been a Josh Allen hater. I've been a Lamar hater. Let's see. Let's see who thrives. And they're the two
And I've been a
leading
Bryce
MVP
Young
candidates.
truther,
Yeah.
a Carolina truther, and look how that turned out.
Yep. And I was a Will Levis truther at the beginning of the season. So, well,
I've never had a bad take.
yeah. All right, boys. That's all we got for the week, you guys. I mean, I love the Travis Kelce props. I think those are free. The Bills receiver props are super interesting with Keon and Amari only at 25 yards. Kincaid plus money to go over 40 seems interesting too. But other than that, I don't got anything else, boys. Should be another fun week of playoff games. Let's see who makes it to the championship games.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Jameer Gibbs, 3+ touchdowns. He'll get it.
Alrighty. We'll see you boys next week. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.